Thanks, Teresa, for demonstrating your French press cold brewed coffee method. So cool! Today, I'll be showing you how to use an at-home espresso machine in case you happen to have one lying around at home. So there's a couple different parts of the espresso machine. There's a steaming pitcher and the steam wand. This is the steaming pitcher, kind of looks like this. And we've also got the steam wand, which is attached to the espresso machine. This is my espresso machine, by the way, in case you can catch on to that one. There's a lot of different models and stuff out there. So when you're watching this video, it's not like a tell-all, do-all type for espresso machines because there's just so many different kinds. I'm actually a barista and supervisor at Starbucks. So our espresso machines are automatic, but this is one of the ones that's a bit more manual. So it does not have an automatic milk shut off at a certain temperature. It doesn't pull my shots of espresso for me, that kind of thing. So it's all manual. So it's a lot of fun for sure, but it's definitely there's definitely so many models out there to choose from. In addition to the steaming pitcher and the steam wand, we've also got this little guy. It's called the tamper, and we have this doodaroo, which is called the portafilter. So this is where you put your espresso grounds in, and it would go in the machine like this, and then the shots of espresso will come out here, and then the tamper will go on top of the, I don't want to say on top. When you put your grinds of espresso in here, you will squish them with the tamper. You'll tamp it, is what it's called, and that will ensure that you're getting the proper water flow to all your grounds, and that you get the fullest espresso flavor possible. In addition, I'll just kind of give you a little tour of my espresso machine. We've got my bean hopper up here, which is actually filled with some delicious Starbucks espresso roast. But there's a lot of different kinds of espresso. So if you don't like Starbucks plain espresso, that's totally fine. You can go to the store and probably find like 10 different kinds of espresso. I actually have some holiday espresso, Christmas blend espresso roast that I got from Christmas from working at Starbucks. Then I've also got a couple different buttons here as well. Here's the grinder on the bottom side. So this is where I would put the portafilter in and catch my grinds, and then I would tamp it using my tamper. So here's where the grinder is, and then the grinder clearly kind of goes down through, as you can see. Here's my on-off button. There's a little dial here, and this is to control the automatic grinding of the espresso. So I can set how much like quantity of espresso I want to grind, and then it'll grind it automatically for me. So instead of putting the portafilter in and holding it inside the grinder, like right here, I can push it in manually and hold it, and it'll grind as much as I want until I pull it out. Or I can push it in once and pull it back out, and it'll do how much I have chosen on the dial. So if I've perfected my recipe, I can do it that way, so I don't have to screw with it in the morning if I'm too tired, if I'm blind, can't see, don't have your glasses on, that kind of thing. There's also a button here, and it's labeled filter size, and I can choose one or two, like a single or a double. And what that means is on my portafilter here, I can take it apart. And so here's what the inside of it looks like, and then this is where all the grinds go. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of hole and stuff in the bottom. So that's where all the water will go through, and then the grinds will sit in here. So I can choose for this bottom part to be finer or coarser, allowing for more or less water and espresso to go through. And then I have the little program button here, which is basically I can change how long I pull, like if you're like one of those coffee connoisseurs, but if that's kind of you should probably read your manual before you try to screw with that, because I'm not even going to bother screwing with that. And then we've also got the 1 and the 2 for shots of espresso. If you want to pull one shot or a double shot. So that's kind of the parts of my espresso machine. Like I said before, there's a lot of different kinds out there. You just got to know what you're getting yourself into, that sort of thing. Next, how to use the espresso machine. So in order to use the espresso machine, what I do first and what I've been taught through Starbucks is to go ahead and put your milk in here first and start steaming it. I'm not going to put any milk in here today for the demonstration, just because I don't want to be extremely wasteful, but I will show you the operation of the steam wand. So I'll turn that on for you. It'll take 1 second to heat up, but it would take 1 second no matter what. Like whether I was prepared for the demonstration, whether I was not, all the hot water just has to get rolling through the system here. It won't quite sound like it normally would, but that's okay because there's no milk or anything like that in there. When you're choosing how much milk you want to grind, milk you want to put through your steam wand, you'll want to best guesstimate. Oh, okay, listen to that. Yeah. So when you have a cup that looks about like this on the inside, you'll want to do about 3/4 of this guy full, maybe a little less, depending on how much foam you want. And if you know your coffee terminology just a little bit, it'd be a lot like a latte would be the shots of espresso plus steamed hot milk. It'd be a latte, but if you want a cappuccino, that's basically the same thing as a latte, except it's extra foamy. So if you want more of like a cappuccino, extra foam, that kind of a thing, like extra frothy, uh, if that word works better for you, then yeah, I would do a little bit less milk and steam it for longer. And the way to get the foam, it's called aerating it, and the best way to tell that you're doing it correctly is it sounds like paper tearing, and you should do that sound. It should make that sound, excuse me, from 1 to 3 seconds for your latte, and then like 6 to 8 for your cappuccino, and that's the Starbucks standard. So if you feel like your standard works a little bit better, you feel like 4 seconds works for you, then great. Like do whatever tastes good to you, because then you know I follow my recipe, but you should follow yours always. So that's kind of how much milk to do, how long to steam it for. Next, if this, I'm not going to be grinding the beans and pulling a shot through them for this video, but I will for the final video. But basically, the only thing you're missing out on is I would just grind them, and then I would just run it through the espresso machine. There is one note that I would point out. If you don't tamp it correctly, you won't get the correct consistency of your shots, and you won't get um, there's a gauge on here that would better explain it. It's basically how much pressure the machine is putting into pulling the shot, and it should be it's labeled espresso range, and it's a PSI mix for this espresso machine. For the Starbucks machine, it just does it automatically because that's how it's calibrated. So I can't really give you too much information on that. But just when you're tamping it, tamp it really hard, but not like Hulk force, like forcing it in there because then you won't get any water through. But if it's not firm enough, you'll be really disappointed because that's really watery and kind of gross, dirty espresso. So a lot of different things to keep in mind while working on your espresso machine and trying to get it to work. But that's pretty much all that I have for my espresso machine demonstration. Hey, thanks for listening today. I know that was a little bit long of a video, but thank you.